Hello, everybody. Today we're going to take a look at another, I think, 8 comparisons between Dall-E, Leonardo, and Ideogram. Now, Dall-E 3 is out. We have confirmed this. So what I have here, I'm just going to show everybody. Dall-E 3 is now available for those who have a ChatGPT Plus or ChatGPT Enterprise account. However, if you have access to Bing, Microsoft Bing, then you have access to Dall-E 3, as you can see right here. So just to prove, I've actually taken a look and compared myself, and I've been playing around with the image creator recently, and it's been giving me some fantastic results. So this is one of the prompts we're going to be using. So it's going to be the stylized portrait of a tiger, and it looks gorgeous. So this is the Dall-E one, and this is the Bing image creator. Take a look at these. They look stunning. And I mean, this is definitely not Dall-E 2. So head over to Microsoft Bing's image creator and play around with Dall-E 3 for free. They do have a little system going on that if you run out of what they call boosts, you can actually use your Microsoft rewards to get some more. But either way, go ahead, play around with it for free, and then if you decide you want to go to ChatGPT Plus or what have you, then go for it. Now let's take a look at that same prompt for the lion in Leonardo. Now I want to make a quick note of something. Leonardo has released what they call Diffusion XL and Vision XL. These are Alchemy version 2 fine-tuned models, and they look great. They're not great for all scenarios, but I have been really playing around with them as far as, trying to get my prompts right. And here are a couple of different renders I have created using Leonardo XL. And just an FYI, those images and the prompts that created them are available in my prompt store. There is a link in the description, so go ahead and check those out. I have new prompts coming out, or new prompt templates coming out periodically. Now let's get to, I'm going to put this in Leonardo XL, which is what it was in before. And we're going to play around with that particular prompt. I want to see how Leonardo really works with that type of prompt. Okay, we have the portrait of the tiger. So let's go ahead, and it actually turns out that it's going to be 5. So let's see what happens. Oh, wow. These are nice. I can definitely see the flames here. I think the prompt said, what was it? Fiery red and oranges dominate flames, consuming trees, and then rejuvenating forests. So it really kind of did like a portal. Like the fire is the fire, and the flames are the frame, and then inside is the portal, which I think it's a beautiful interpretation. This one is not so prominent with the fire, but it does have the menacing tiger. The tiger looks really good. Again, this is Leonardo Diffusion XL, and like I said, in many cases it works magnificently. All right, so let's try and see what this looks like in Ideogram. Okay, now it's party. Not fully generated yet, but it is definitely generated enough that I can appreciate the differences here. This looks, yeah, I like the stylized, looks like a cartoonish image, like a really nice illustration. That's cute. This one I kind of like. I love the flames here, and then you have the greens here, and I love the different color difference in coloration. This reminds me kind of like a pop art. And this one is just a picture of a lion. So I think, if anything, 1 out of 4. I think that was a really good interpretation by Ideogram. Personally, I thought that Leonardo did a closer job, but still both of them did fantastic in their own ways. I live in a rural area where getting the internet can be tough or impossible. The Alcatel Link Zone 2 is helping me to stay online. Maybe it can help you too. Click the link below. Okay, next up is this illustration of a monster family, which reminds me of, I think it was the Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends or something like that. Really cute cartoon. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, it's worth it. So this is the Dall-E version. I'm curious to see how Leonardo handles this for sure. Oh, these are great. Yeah, I think this looks really, it looks almost comparable to what Dall-E 3 had put out. And even more fun in my opinion. These guys look good. Well, I wouldn't say have fun with, but you never know, they could be friendly. Yeah, I definitely love the polka dots and everything. The spotted green monster, the tiny polka dotted monster. I am loving these. They're so adorable. This would make a great pattern. I might have to go ahead and modify this idea and play around with it a little bit more, but I approve of these. Now let's take a look at what Ideogram came up with. Oh, I'm loving these already. When it comes to monsters and stuff like that, I really appreciate these. I think Leonardo and the Ideogram are doing a fantastic job. I like these. Cute like you sing hi. That is nice. I think that, Ideogram also did a fantastic job. Between both of them, it was a lot of fun to watch these different interpretations. And I think that they would be fantastic in whatever projects people are putting with. Ideogram is good on here, and so is Leonardo. Love it. Next up is this vintage travel poster of a grand piano. If you've been following my channel, you've seen that I've done quite a few vintage, like I call them modern vintage posters. So this is right up my alley. I thought it was a beautiful rendering, and I'm interested to see how Leonardo XL would interpret this. Leonardo Diffusion XL would interpret this. So let me go ahead and I'll put a link to my one of my vintage ones up here so you can take a look at it. Oh, wow. Not as colorful because that one seemed, the first Dall-E one seemed a bit more pop art-ish, but this is still a stunner. I love the design. Any of those old vintage posters, they really have that nice, crisp, clean lines, the colors and the brightness that I just absolutely love in a poster like that. So this one's done pretty well. Let's take a look at the second one, roughly the same. Yeah, this looks absolutely beautiful. So let's take a look at Ideogram's version of it. Okay, Leonardo had a very muted, a nice, elegant look. This one seems to be a lot older. It matches the sky. I love that. Take a look at the Dolly one. Yep, I like that one a lot. So let's take a look at this again. That definitely has a bit more pastel, has brighter, has a more, the shadows are a lot more pronounced. And so is the line work. It's not as subtle as the one in Leonardo. This one is definitely more of an interpretation. I like it. It's more like, yeah, this looks definitely a different angle for this vision. I almost thought it was like a keyboard than a grand piano. So yeah, Ideogram did a fantastic view of these. I'm impressed. Continues to be impressed with Ideogram for sure. Okay, this was an old sea captain, which I thought was fantastic. I especially loved the scary figures here. I think it's just a great touch. Kind of, I wouldn't say Ahab, but he's definitely up there. I love this interpretation. Let's take a look at how Leonardo does it. Okay. Alright, this looks, yeah, has some anomalies in the hands, which is to be expected. Definitely, it does look like an oil painting. The other one, the lines are just more pronounced. It was just a little bit heavier with the lines. This one is more like a portion. I think that's just the effect of Leonardo XL. The Diffusion XL, while it does have, it's more exact. So it's not anything where it's more exact. So it's not anything where I don't see it really doing more of like interpretations and doing stuff like that. But it's still a beautiful oil painting, like a traditional oil painting. This one's cool. As well, I see the lightning in the background, the crests of the waves crashing, and his emotions. It's really great interpretation. So let's take a look at how Ideogram did it. Okay. Right. These wavy lines. First of all, I love the bird sticking out of his pocket here. I think it's just adorable. It's more like him being on the sidelines than him actually being in the boat. But still looks, I love the prominent lines of the sky and the sea. This one is more along the lines. He's definitely up against some serious waves. I love the emotion that this conjures up. Definitely, he looks like he's adversely, he's about to hit something really hard. Okay. Oh, this is a wave that looks like, well, he looks a little bit big. The proportions here are a little bit off. But I love the wave details. And here he just looks kind of sad. I'm seeing something here that could be like either a wave or something coming from a wave. But yeah, the proportions here are a little bit off, but it still looks pretty good. So I say maybe the second one is probably the best one of the bunch, but still a great effort from Ideogram. I'm thoroughly impressed with them. Okay, now let's take a look at the next one, which is the Venus flytrap. Yeah, so this is just a botanical illustration, one of the old-time ones. Beautiful plant. Love it. Love this plant, and it has nothing to do with Little Shop of Horrors. So let's take a look and see how Leonardo handles this one. If we can pull off the illustration. Because low power and power outages are too common, I'm using Bluetti's portable solar system to keep my lights on and appliances safe. Click the link below to see if the Bluetti solar power system is right for you. Oh, wow. It looks beautiful, though it's not a Venus flytrap. Still looks beautiful. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, it seems to have like the teeth on the outside of the stem, which this looks like a completely different rendering or a completely different plant, but still beautiful illustration. It does look like one of those antique illustrations. It just maybe needs to be tweaked a little bit to actually produce a Venus flytrap plant. Leonardo. Okay, so let's take a look at how Ideogram handles this one. Okay. Yeah, this one, the top's kind of cut off. I think it's still generating, but the top is kind of cut off. I can't really tell, but I do like the kind of teeth illustration here on this one. Looks beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous there. We take a look at this one. Again, it looks like a different type of plant, but still it can do the illustration in that antique style pretty well. It just may not be familiar with, or it's having problems generating the actual Venus flytrap plant itself, but these would definitely work. It understands the fact that it's an antique botanical illustration. I'm impressed with that Ideogram. Okay, next up is the photo of this ancient shipwreck. It looks really detailed. I love the formation of the fish here. And it looks like there's an underwater kind of like crater. So, I mean, I can't see anything else other than perfect in Dall-E 3. Now let's see how Leonardo handles this. This is nice. Okay, let's take a look. Wow. You can see the details here beautifully in Leonardo Diffusion XL. I'm really liking this fine-tuned model. Wow. And this one, you know, I like it. Of course, these look like they're very close to the surface, which wouldn't necessarily be the case in certain instances, but it still looks like an amazing render when you look at the amount of details it has. I don't see any fish like the ones in in Dall-E. Here I do see something that looks like fish, but they're far away. And the focus is on this actual shipwreck itself. So I think that's it. It really fulfilled the objective here. All right, so let's take a look at Ideogram's interpretation of this prompt. Already I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Ooh, again, the fish detail is present in Ideogram, and I think it's still generating. So it's kind of fuzzy right now. But I am loving that detail. Oh my goodness, this is great. There I see this actually much better, a better rendering as far as the surrounding context of the picture than Leonardo. Leonardo still had a fantastic picture. But I like the fact that it kind of took upon itself to bring in the fish as a detail, since it's deep underwater and everything. Yeah, this looks like it would as an actual picture that was taken of the wreck. Love the coloring, the fading coloring, and you're seeing all the different sea life, the vegetation. Yeah, I'm liking this. Let's take a look at, let's see. This one, oh, again, love the fish detail because, of course, they've been doing that. I don't know if this is a person or a really big fish. It looks like a really kind of big-ish fish or of some sort. Still a great render here. And yes, this is beautiful. So Ideogram is definitely coming. It's coming together. I'm sure they've done some updates to it, but it looks magnificent. So I'll definitely give Ideogram, I think if I had to rate them both, I'd say Ideogram really came closer to what Dall-E did than Leonardo. So this is a great idea, so kudos to them. Okay, now let's take a look at this next illustration. Again, it's another, it's homage to the old world botanical sketches like we saw in with the Venus flytrap one. So this is basically of a cactus that is, you know, has a lilac. It's basically tied up or knotted up with a lilac. Beautiful rendering that would make really good, I'd say, wallpaper. So it makes a very nice pattern. All right, so let's take a look at how Leonardo interpreted this prompt. Oh, yeah, this definitely has a lighter, it's not as colorful. This has a very light watercolor, like a washed out watercolor look to it. Okay, I can see the cactus and the lilac. It does look beautiful though. This would also make a very good pattern. I gotta say, I'm impressed with that. So let's take a look at the next one. Okay. Yeah, you can see the thorns here and everything. I like the way, honestly, it looks so much like a lotus. This version of the lilac, to me, it looks like a lotus. So I'm looking at the different renderings here for that. That looks nice. It looks beautiful. I like the way they interpreted this. It just looks like it would make an amazing pattern for wallpaper or something like that. Again, the lines here are not as bold and it does look like a bit more washed out. So I think this is definitely, for itself, it's a really good render. It's a very good interpretation of the prompt. Now let's take a look at how Ideogram did this. Ooh. Okay. It's not finished generating it, but I can definitely like what I'm seeing. Even cactus bearing not just thorns, but also fragrant and delicate blooms of lilac. Okay, this definitely looks like it's truer to the prompt. This one just looks cute. It actually looks very much like the Leonardo one. Like the Leonardo one that we just saw. Okay, this looks just cute. It looks very cartoon-like, so I don't really see that this one kind of... It's an homage to the old world botanical sketches, but it's not really, you know... The other ones are just a different league. This one's just absolutely cute, like a cartoon. Like it's going to basically just have a pair of eyes and start dancing in the cup or something. It's really cute. And this one does look more realistic. It looks very... I love the detail. It looks like an oil painting or even kind of a photograph. It's got that realistic feel to it. But I think if anything, it does look beautiful. Like, I think if anything, this first one kind of hit the mark for sure on this one. So, great job on this one. Okay, so these are the images, and some of these I've done in the previous video for this. And it just shows just how much Leonardo does need to have a little bit more work, and we need to play around with it a little bit more to get the render. But what it did come up with was really good. And, you know, of course, this is Dolly, and Dall-E 3 has been an amazing tool. Look at these pictures. They're nice and crisp and clean. I find that Dolly's very literal, and then Leonardo does have a little bit more room to play, and it winds up coming up with some amazing renders, sometimes above and beyond what you asked for. So in that case, it does do a great job. And Ideogram itself is also fantastic, as you can see here. Not just with these prompts, but with all the other prompts that are coming up from it. I mean, it's really coming up in leaps and bounds. So I'd be very interested. I'm keeping my eye on it, and I love it. So I will keep everybody abreast of whatever changes that come up with it. So I hope you enjoyed this. Of course, if you did, like, subscribe, comment, and share. And of course, if you want to support the channel, I will be having a Patreon shop coming up soon. But for right now, I do have a prompt-based store where I do sell prompts for specific images. So take a look at that. Here is a link, or here's a picture of the page, and I'll include a link in the description so you guys can check it out. But there are prompts, and of course with the prompts you get directions, as well as the images that were generated with it. And of course, if there are any questions, you can message me. But thanks again for your time and your support, and I'll see you guys in the next video.